Well, we woke up to a thunderstorm this morning, and now the sun's out, but I think there's still some more showers sort of headed our way, so we'll see. But it's 73 and wet, and the kitties got traumatized a little bit this morning. They're all doing good now, though. The second round of rain has finished. It was not a severe storm, but it rained pretty darn good. I'll have to check the rain gauge when I get back up to the house. First inspection down here, I don't see any baby hawks, and I do think I probably saw a baby hawk fly in the background. I hear some chatter back there. But I am going to set up the tripod here and take a look. This is looking sort of toward the nest, following the creek, looking over toward the environmental park area. And yeah, they're down there hunting somewhere. I saw a second flight, but they're, you know, they're in there 150 feet. And it's the wrong time of year to be going for a trek. This is a pretty spot to stop and watch the water flow for a minute, though. So I was watching Eric Strait today, the Derek YouTube channel, and he had come into the Tesla T and noted that there's no more way to pull down to get to the toy box, to get to the Easter eggs. On his model, I don't know if he was in the 3 or the Y. I think he was in the Y. The car had just over 1,000 miles on it. And I note that that also is true for Ruby. I mean, it was always a little funky, but it's gone. It's not there anymore. So the only way you can get to the toy box now, apparently on any of the cars in the fleet, is to come down here and then hit toy box. I said and hit toy box. Yeah, and you know, all of the stuff is over here now, including the Model Xmas. I mean, I saw the thing that said there was an update to how the toy box looked, but it was lost on me that the other had been taken away. I mean, I guess that's okay. It seems like Romance, Model Xmas, Santa, Rainbow Road, Submarine, they're all there now, or they're there. I don't, right offhand, it doesn't seem to me that anything has been removed. So that's good. Including Santa, which last time I ran it, you know, it didn't quite work the same as it did originally. And then of course under entertainment is all of the games. They all have really fancy thumbnails now instead of the original thumbnails. And you know, for the Model X, this is what I expect to see. So, but yep, I didn't realize that from the Tesla T, you didn't have the little graduated longer to shorter little lines there that you could get to the toy box with. So not a big deal. I don't know, I probably would have just left it there too. Don and I plan to go to Home Depot later, and I asked him if we were taking the GMC or Ruby, and he said Ruby, so I'm gonna leave her parked here. Hi, buddy. Hello. Hello. You need some love? Okay, I got love for you. Here comes Gray. She had sort of followed me down the hill. Well, you're looking mighty chipper.
Oh, well, it's a pretty good day. I mean, sun's out. I think it's gonna, like, the humidity's not bad. It's not perfect, but it's not bad today. This actually, if you know, if it dries off all this wet stuff, it'll be good.
So the other hawk has fledged.
Well, that's good.
There was nobody at the nest when I went down there.
Poor Mom.
Yeah, Mom's feeling pain today.
Yeah, well, those kids, they do that to you.
Yeah. So what's the plan? It looks like you've got a plan. It's normal get busy time and you're out here.
Yeah, I'm going to do a couple things. I could clean up the TV wire cords. We haven't finished that job. I've got my trolley handle for my unicycle I can put on. I've what is it?
Clean up.
Clean up. Well, yeah,
we did pretty good yesterday, but there's a couple of things.
Yeah, well, I'm cleaning up right now. Yeah, absolutely. And you know, this stuff.
You gonna do the cat food thing?
Oh yeah, the cat food thing. Yeah, absolutely.
And Don's got a new reverse osmosis tank to install.
I'm gonna put a second tank in. It should help the capacity go. It should let it. You know, right now, if you get about 2 gallons out of it, and then you have to wait, it's really slow to drain, fill your glass or whatever. Also, I'm watched a couple YouTubes. Our ice maker is working again. No, not that I've done anything to it. It just started working again. But the water is a little pressure there is very slow because it goes through all that. There's 25 feet at least from the tank to the ice maker, so the pressure drop through a 1/4-inch tubing is way low. So I have a good place inside the cabinet, very close to the refrigerator. It's like right next to the refrigerator, that I can put a reverse osmosis tank, and so the pressure will push that bladder in that tank, and then when the ice maker needs to run, it'll only have the 4 or 5 feet of hose. From there, the tank will feed that, so that should help the pressure. That one of the things the guy said is try to put your tank as close to the spigot, the point of service, as you can get it. In other words, they always show it like installed right next to the filter, but realistically you need to install it right next to your spigot.
Cool. So I don't know which of those you're going to do and in what order, and it doesn't matter, but he's good at those. Are some of the things on the list.
I have a list longer than my arm and stuff. I'm
trying to remember what are some of the other things on my list.
Oh. Well, we are going, it's date night, you know. I'm going to Home Depot.
Right. And I have permission to look for a pot and a plant. I don't know that I'll find anything I want at Home Depot, but I will probably go to the garden center and look.
I'll come back to eat those words, I'm sure. Right now, she's good.
I didn't remember to empty it yesterday. Looks like 9/10 of an inch between yesterday and today. What you getting goo off of? Adhesive.
Off my,
Oh, you trying to glue that back on, fix them?
Yeah, we probably should just do Amazon. This is a brand name, EAR.
Yeah.
And we probably should just buy a set of pads if they sell such a thing.
Yeah, one of Don's pads came off.
Oh, this is the second time I've
fixed it.
Yeah.
He also used WD-40 and cleaned up his drill bits and his tools. I had shook the gunk, the dirt off of it and everything last night with a stiff brush, but he took care of everything that got wet and muddy yesterday the right way with a little WD-40. Well, I did my piano practice for the day and serenaded Don, and he did decide to do the finishing touches on the cat food shelf. So I want to build this. And I paid a few bucks for the instructions, but I got to pull the parts. And so I'm going to keep Don company out here, and I'm going to get my little, my bins out, and I'm going to pull what I can. I wish that they had included the Lego part number here. You know, I'm going to say 98% of these I will have absolutely no problem pulling the parts. But there's a couple, like this first one up here. I don't exactly know what part that is. So, actually, I think I'm just going to try to build it, because I'm going to have to do some color substitutions, and if it's inside, you know, parts, it doesn't matter what color it is, and if it's outside, it's going to matter more than not. So yeah, I think I'm gonna just try to build it. bug. The first two things it builds are the earth and the sun, and having the right color, blue, yellow, and green is, yeah. So I'm skipping down to the gearing part, which is what I know I have all the stuff for. As you can see, I've moved Ruby back in the garage because it's getting ready to downpour pretty serious. And Dawn is back and forth to the radial arm saw out under the carport, but has enough room to work up here by the workbench.
Yeah.
Got what, 8 feet, maybe 10 feet?
Plenty of feet.
Yeah. And boy, am I spread out with Legos over here. It's not going so well. I'm trying not to give up. I need part numbers. I'm getting the gearing built. I'm pretty sure that beige gear and that black gear are the same. These gears aren't fitting right. Well, I had a lot of trouble because these two gears aren't touching, and my assumption is that they were supposed to. But the reason they're not touching is, if you'll notice, some of the gears are moving really fast and some are moving really slow. Gear reduction, baby. And that's the moon versus the earth versus the sun. So if they had just provided us 2 words, don't touch, then I wouldn't have spent 15 minutes trying to figure out what I had done wrong. Finally, I said, screw it, and I'm just gonna do it and see what happens, and then you can see that it's doing what it's supposed to do. But how was I supposed to know? I've not built this thing before.
Hey, now you know what they mean when they say planetary gears.
Yeah. I heard Don say a minute ago 2 more pieces and he was done.
Pretty much. I'm gonna have to come up with little caps here in the corner, so I guess technically that's another piece.
Well, it's nice there. It's nice and smooth. No more unfinished.
Yeah, it cleans it up.
Yeah, it's looking good.
Ooh, worm gear drive.
There is a worm gear, that this thing. You can see that it goes around. I'm just turning.
Jack shaft. Look at that jack shaft.
Yeah. So this is actually a totally different gear than the one I showed you before. Plate.
Wow.
Plate thing, and it's got 2 of those, a small one, and then up here you can't sort of see it as a big one. But yeah, it's spinning right. So now it's time to build the base so I can mount it. Oh yeah, and I burnt myself a few days ago. It wasn't fun.
Poor kid.
All right, there it is. All finished up. Don lifted it a little bit. He put a little, I guess, kick plate down at the bottom, and you can see there's no more unfinished wood anymore.
It's Friday night. You know what that means.
We get to go to Home Depot.
Yeah, going to Home Depot for date night.
Don had him a nap, and
I had me a steak and eggs for supper. I tell you can't beat steak and eggs. Yum, yum, yum.
Yeah, I know it looks really clear out here now, but we had 90 minutes more of rain from like 4 to 5:30, something like that, and it's just that it's all past us now finally, after like rain out day 3 basically, or having to work between the raindrops day 3. I think there's a chance of rain tomorrow, but it's not supposed to be a washout, so hopefully not. Yeah, this store really doesn't want you to buy stuff at the garden center until they close at 8 p.m. because they close it so you can't check out, and then they run the sprinklers so you can't shop. Well, Home Depot does have impatient and begonia hanging baskets. There's about 60, 75 here. I got one more pot of coleus. That's all I got out there. I wasn't expecting dish soap to be problematic. I wanted Dawn direct foam. The little signs up there are about returns. I came into Walmart for cat food and cat litter, which I have, and you know I had to come out to the garden center. Thankfully there's nobody out here but me. So I did get the base built. I guess I'm finding I can't hold it and turn it at the same time, but this part spins around on the gear correctly. I've got a part in here that I don't have the right part, and so these gears are not moving. And worse than not having the part and not having seen the part and not recognizing the part is I don't have a part number and I don't know what part to order, so I'm gonna have to spend some time researching it. But this, it does go around. I just can't film it and make it go at the same time.